Hey everyone, so in today's video, I'm going to be doing a foundation declutter video. Foundations and concealers also, it's kind of like my vice product. Everyone has one. A lot of people will buy 15 eyeshadows that look exactly the same. I'm the kind of person that will buy another dewy light coverage foundation over and over again, expecting them all to be so drastically different. So I wanted to do today's video because I want to get rid of the products that I don't use anymore. I want to clear out space, and also to kind of remind myself to use up products and to remember the good standbys and to hopefully just not buy as many. Just knowing me, everyone has their little vice, their little thing that they like to indulge in. For me, foundation is one of those things. I really enjoy reviewing it for you guys and then also just testing it out for me. Foundation to me is just really intriguing to me. Whatever the texture is that looks the most skin-like, or to have the most coverage while also being the most skin-like, all of that and what goes into that is really interesting to me. It's kind of why I buy so many foundations, I think. I have to be honest, I definitely have like a few different skin tints and foundations lying around that aren't in this video. Small makeup bag I keep at work, and one at my parents' house as well. If this video is helpful, please make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Please subscribe if the video is helpful, and we will jump right in. Alrighty, so let's first start off with the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Longwear High Coverage Foundation. I have mine in the shade 2, and this is really, really great. I love the formula because it's very long wearing. It's a little bit more on the natural to matte side. It's typically not what I go for in a foundation, as you'll come to find throughout the video. But I just love the way it looks on dry skin. Over time, it doesn't look too cakey or accentuate any texture. Unfortunately, I am going to be parting ways with this. I'm going to be giving it to one of my sisters or a friend because the shade 2 is so golden and yellow. It just doesn't look good on my skin. And every time I want to wear this and put it on, even though the formula is so good, the shade is just really off. So I am going to be parting with this. In the same vein is the Lancome Idole Ultra Wear Foundation. This one I am going to be keeping. It is very similar in formula to the Power Fabric. I feel like this has a little bit less coverage, but again, if you're looking for a more matte long wear foundation for drier skin, this is a really, really great option. I have mine in the shade 100 Ivory Neutral, and this one's a little bit light for me right now, but I always reach for this in the winter when I want, you know, a more matte look, and the shade range is a lot better than the Armani. So if I were to do it all over again, I probably would just go with this. Next, I have my really beat up L'Oreal True Match Lumi Cushion. I have mine in the shade N3, and I've bought this multiple times. This one in particular is when I had some self-tan going, and that is why the shade does not match me anymore. The coverage is light to medium. Just the overall look on the skin is so beautiful and creamy, and I do find that this isn't overly dewy. If you do have combination skin, I think you can still get away with this and really enjoy it. Maybe not perfect for oily skin, but if you want something without a lot of longevity just to put on while you're running out the door and doing errands, this is a great option. And I will continue to repurchase because it's so affordable, and really every time I wear it, my skin looks good. A cushion foundation I wasn't a fan of is the Misha M Cushion. I have mine in the shade 21, and this one is just probably my least favorite cushion product I've ever used. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. This has a very matte and cakey look to the skin for not being super matte. Something about this looks very dry and really accentuates any texture I have on my skin. It doesn't really sink into the skin. I feel like this product is really the opposite of what I expect from a cushion foundation. Unfortunately, because this is a cushion foundation, I don't feel great about giving this away to someone, even though there is quite a bit of product in here. So I'm probably just going to be throwing this away. Next, we have the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Luminous Makeup, and I have mine in the shade where's the shade? Oh, right there. Ivory L2. And I've only worn this a couple of times because this is definitely not my shade. And again, you'll probably see this as a recurring thing. If something's not my shade, I'm not going to put it on and reach for it, unfortunately. That being said, the one time I used this, I liked it. It wasn't mind-blowing, but we'll see. I definitely want to keep trying this because I've heard so many good things about it. Next, we have the Buildable Blur CC Cream from Thrive Causemetics. I actually recently did a video comparing this to the Causemetics CC Cream, so I won't stick here too long. I'll leave that video linked down below, but this one is not my favorite, spoiler alert. I do think this is going to be awesome for a lot of people. I have mine in the shade Fair Light, and unfortunately I just don't think this product worked for me and my skin type, so I will be giving this away. This is like one of the first tinted moisturizers I've ever used. I have mine in the shade Opal, and this is so old. I mean, I really do like it. There's still like a little bit of product in here, so I guess that's why I was holding on to it, but this is so old and I'm probably just gonna throw it away. Another product I need to throw away is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I had mine in the shade Porcelain. The shade is very yellow. A lot of Too Faced products lean very yellow to me. But anyway, I do like this. It's not my favorite though, and I never reach for it. I'm actually probably going to be throwing this away because it's probably past its expiration. A foundation that I just recently bought and can't wait to try is the Natasha Denona Face Glow Foundation, and I have mine in the shade 10. I only wore this once and I really liked it when I wore it, so I'm going to be trying this out a little bit more. If you guys want a review on this, definitely let me know, or if you're interested in seeing how this compares to another product, leave your comments down below. So I am keeping this because I'd love to test it out. Next, we have the Misha Perfect Cover BB Cream. This one is in the shade 23. I also have the shade 13 as well, and I can't find it, which really pisses me off because that shade is a lot better for me. This one is a little bit too dark, so even though I love this formula and it's so creamy, medium coverage, very affordable, I think I'm just gonna pass this one along because I was planning on using this up over the summer with some self-tan, but I just never used it, so I'm probably going to be giving this to a friend. Next, we have the Dior Airflash Foundation. I have mine in the lightest shade 100, and I really, really like this, and I've gone kind of back and forth with it. I've found in the past that if I use too much of it, it starts to look a little bit weird and cakey on my skin, but with a light hand, this gives the most beautiful, flawless airbrush finish. It's very expensive, so I honestly don't think I'm going to repurchase it, but all of that being said, I love the way it looks on my skin. I do feel like the shade range is lacking. This is really the only Dior foundation I've been impressed with so far. So if I would repurchase one or recommend one from Dior, it would be the Airflash, but again, so expensive, I kind of hesitate to repurchase this. Next, we have the Glossier Perfecting Skin Tint in the shade Light. This is great for every day, and it's definitely something I like to mix in with my sunscreen in the morning and also just put on a little bit just to kind of throw something on and run out the door. It's not something that I would wear going out for a night, but all of that being said, I don't go out every night. You know, this is great for everyday makeup, and I like that it's a more natural finish when I don't want something too dewy. If you still haven't tried this, I'll leave my Glossier rep link down below, and you can use it if you want any money off your order. Next, we have the Nars Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer, and this is in the shade Finland. And this is one that I really need to use up because I only have a little bit left, and I really, really enjoy it. This is definitely a really beautiful tinted moisturizer. This is everything I've wanted from a more high-end tinted moisturizer, and it's one I would definitely recommend and repurchase because it looks natural on the skin, but you just look very fresh and the skin looks really healthy when you wear it. It's a great everyday product. The shade range is a lot better too for a tinted moisturizer, so I would definitely recommend this, and I really need to use this up. I'm actually really happy I did this video and really cleared everything out, so I, revisit products I really like and can use them up. As for a tinted moisturizer that is good but really didn't blow me away is the Mercier tinted moisturizer. I know this is like a cult classic, and this isn't bad. Like, I do like it, but I just feel like it didn't give me that extra oomph I was looking for. I wish this had a little bit more coverage. I do like the way it looks on my skin. I'm in the shade Porcelain, so I feel like I have someone in my life that could get a lot more use out of this. And because it's such an easy makeup product, you can really just put a little on your fingers and blend this in. I do want someone to get more use out of it than I do, so I think I'm going to be giving this one away. Next, we have the Covergirl Healthy Elixir Foundation. As you can see, I got mine on sale, and it's in the shade Classic Ivory, which is way too dark for me, unfortunately. All of that being said, I will definitely go out and purchase this in my correct shade because this is gorgeous, and I feel like people don't talk about this foundation enough. It's a medium to maybe like very low full coverage, and it's very dewy and hydrating. It reminds me a lot of the IT Causemetics CC cream, except with even more coverage. So I really enjoy this one. Because this is in my shade, I'm going to be passing it along to someone that can get better use out of it. But again, it's really, really gorgeous, and it comes with a pump. Obviously, it's affordable and you can get it on sale, so I would definitely recommend this one. Next, we have the Covergirl Moisture Foundation, and I have mine in the shade 002. I really, really like this. It looks so healthy on the skin. Again, that's really what I'm looking for in a foundation, to look really healthy and glowy on the skin. This one's great, and I feel like anytime I wear it, my skin really livens up. I don't like it more than my Covergirl Aqua. That one is one of my favorite foundations ever. And because this is so expensive and you get less product, you get 0.71 ounces as opposed to 1, I don't think I'm going to be repurchasing this, but I only have a little bit left. So I think I'm going to use this up, get a couple of wears out of it, and then just keep repurchasing the Covergirl Aqua. Speaking of which, this is my Covergirl Aqua Foundation. I have mine in the shade 002. This is a Luxe Beauty standby for me. If I'm going to spend a shit ton of money on a foundation, it's going to be this one. If you're interested in how the formula has changed since they reformulated it, I'm going to leave that video down below. I did an entire video comparing this reformulated version to the original. Either way, I still really, really enjoy this, and I've repurchased many times, even though it is so expensive. It's great makeup when you want to give yourself coverage without it being detectable makeup. My skin always looks good no matter when I use this, and I can't really imagine not having this in my collection. And what do you know, I just found my Misha Perfect Cover BB Cream in the shade 13, and now I can keep this and give away the other shade. I also have a little bit left of the original formula of the Covergirl Aqua. I may put my other Covergirl in this glass bottle because, truth be told, I really prefer the glass bottle. Fucking disgusting, pardon my French, is the Makeup Forever Face and Body. Not the formula. The formula is good, and this is actually, this has been discontinued, but it's completely expired and gross. This got stuck in the back of my makeup drawer because I ended up using the Waterblend and finding that that looked a lot better on my skin. I kind of found that this pilled a little bit for some weird reason. I think the formula, when you pump it out, kind of dries in the cap. So when you pump it out onto your sponge, there are still little pieces of that dried foundation. That started to annoy me. I put it in the back of my drawer and forgot about it, and here we are. So again, doing this declutter so I can get better about using my foundations and, you know, really finding the ones that I love. So this is unfortunately going to the trash. Next we have the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth, and I have mine in 110 Porcelain. I like this. It didn't blow me away. I found that this looked a little bit too much like makeup on my skin, which is why I never reached for it. So I think I'm going to be giving this away. Next, we have the Lancome Skin Feels Good Healthy Glow Skin Tint, and I have mine in the shade 01 Nude. I really need to get more use out of this, and the reason I don't right now is because the shade is wrong. I did mention that in my full review. I'll leave that linked down below. But unfortunately, I love the way it looks, but it is a little bit too dark. So I think I'm going to start mixing some of my white foundation into this to get some more use out of it, because this is really, really beautiful. Speaking of my skin looking great, this has pretty much been like my favorite foundation that I've been using every time I wear foundation this fall, and it's the Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation. I have mine in the shade LN4. This is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. If you're looking for something that gives just a little bit more coverage than a tinted moisturizer, I'd call this a medium coverage, but really blurs, smooths, and looks very hydrated on the skin, I would absolutely recommend this. This is a very healthy finish, like in the name. It's not overly dewy, so I do think a lot of people would really enjoy this. It's great for dry skin, and I imagine that a lot of people with normal and combination skin would love this as well. It wears really well. My skin really just looks great every time I wear this, and I definitely see myself repurchasing this already, and I'm not even halfway through this. The only thing I don't like is the applicator, which is this big doe foot applicator. As you can see, it gets really grimy, unfortunately, and I imagine it's going to be difficult to get all of the foundation out of this bottle once it's at its end. Next, we have the Airbrush foundation from Sephora. I have mine in the shade Fair. This was good, and I do think that if you're looking for a similar effect to the Dior, it is something to look into. Unfortunately, I just never reached for this, and there's really not that much left at all. And yeah, it says that it already expired, so we'll be throwing this away. Next, we have the Makeup Forever Waterblend foundation. I prefer this to the Makeup Forever Face and Body, so this is what I reach for. I have mine in the shade Y245. This is great if you want something that is very seamless on the skin. This isn't great for a lot of coverage. You can build it up a little bit, but if you want something very lightweight, I like water-based foundations for that reason, because, you know, it feels more like water or skincare going on the skin. You don't really feel like you have a lot of product on the skin when you're wearing it. So I really, really enjoy this one, and I am keeping it. The Dr. Jart BB Beauty Balm is one that I really, really enjoy. It's in the shade Light Medium, though I think the formula is beautiful and makes the skin look so healthy and dewy. It is very gray, and Dr. Jart and a lot of Korean beauty brands in general, not just them, really lack a good shade range. I'm going to be parting with this because it is so gray and even a little bit dark on my skin, but the formula is really good. I hope they come out with more shades. We're in the home stretch now. This is a product I've talked about over and over again. It's the Causemetics Your Skin But Better CC Cream. The amount of videos I've done on this product, it's probably like 4-ish. Anyway, I have mine in the shade Fair. I love this. I will repurchase over and over again. I've probably used like 3 tubes of this, and instead of using up all my other makeup products that I like, I just keep repurchasing this because no matter what, my skin is going to look good when I wear this. Really, I mean that. Like, no matter what, I will be happy with my face makeup, which is why I always go back to this. Great for travel, and I like that they have more shades now especially. So obviously keeping this. A product I'm sadly going to be parting with is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation. I have mine in the shade Y235. This is a little bit yellow for me, but I really, really like this formula, and it's definitely a standby for me, and I think a lot of people will really enjoy this formula. Unfortunately, I think this is getting old because the last few times I've worn it, it just hasn't looked the same on my skin. So I think this is just getting old. I don't think it's really the formula or my skin changing. So once I use up some of my other foundations, I'll probably repurchase this. So these are all the foundations that I'm keeping. And these are all the foundations that I'm giving away. So yeah, I hope that this video was helpful. Please make sure to give it a thumbs up if it is. If you guys have any other questions about specific foundations that I did mention, I will try to leave as many related links to the foundations down in the bio. And I will also be on my comments responding to you, talking to you about what shade that you're looking for, what are the formulas like in the foundations that I mentioned today. So I hope that this video was helpful as always, and I will see you in my next one.